Hi, everybody. This is Jill for today. Thank you for coming into my kitchen. It's always so nice to have you here. I feel like you're sitting here at the bar and you're watching me cook, so I love that part. Today I am making a no-knead English muffin bread. You know, we love those English muffins with all those little nooks and crannies. This bread is very good. It's, you're not going to get that full effect of all that stuff that you see in an English muffin, but it's got a really great texture, and you do have some of those little holes. So having said that, let's get started. I have a pan here. This is 9 by 5, and actually the recipe calls for a little smaller pan. I don't have that smaller pan, but this one will work just fine. If you have an 8 by 5, perfect, but this is the 9 by 4, so it works. Okay, so I've got this well greased. And then I have to show you a couple of new things that I have received. This is from the Jean Lemon company. They're the same ones that did that awesome pie pan, which I'll put a link to down below. I did a review on it, which I'll also give you a link to. That pan rocks. Amazing pie pan, and they really put out some beautiful products. This is a sprinkler. Now you're going to say, well, do I really need a sprinkler? Yes, you do, and I will tell you why. This sprinkles cocoa on things. If you want to do brown sugar, or powdered sugar in a pan that you're going to bake, or flouring a pan, and you need to flour all the edges, it works beautifully. It's very versatile. But look how cool it is. You just stick it in your whatever, this is cornmeal. Now I'm going to sprinkle cornmeal, of course, as we know English muffins, right? Have cornmeal on them. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to give this a good sprinkle on the bottom here. Okay, we're going to set that aside. And now I'm bringing in some flour. And I will have all the ingredients and measurements and such down below the video. So I have here some flour, and I'm going to add a little tiny bit of baking soda. That in there. It's an eighth of a teaspoon. It's almost, but you got to have it in there. Then I have some regular active yeast. That in there. And then I'm going to put in 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. And then I'm also going to put in a little salt. Now, I always get people writing in and saying, you're not supposed to add salt with yeast. It breaks down the yeast activity. I have been baking bread for a bazillion years, and many of the recipes I have call for obviously salt and yeast. Never once, and I've done testing, I've done the loaf both ways. I have never found any difference. So I'm just throwing that out. But if you feel like you need to separate them, separate them. So there goes the salt. Well, I gave my little pitch for the day, didn't I? Now, again, these beautiful Jean Lemon, there's their little emblem here. This is their dough hook, beautiful heavy handle. And I'm just going to give this a whisk, and it really holds up well. I mean, it's got a good strong hook on it. They call this the dough, what do they call this? The dough, not hook, dough, oh, I can't think of it. Anyway, there will be a link for this down below too. Okay, I've got that well mixed now. Now what I'm going to add is some warm milk. Actually, this has been scalded. And when you scald milk, it helps break down some of those enzymes that what it does is actually allows your yeast to grow more. If it was cold milk, you were not going to get quite that much activity, but it works. We're going to put some milk in there. And we're going to put some warm water in there as well. I'm looking to see if I've got all my ingredients, and I do. And as you can see, this is it. This is how absolutely simple. See, isn't this wonderful, this dough hook, dough whip? And it just gets in there. The handle's great. I mean, the handle's so nice. It works really good. So we're just going to give this a good strong beat. Doesn't even need to be in a mixer, but we're going to really give it a really good mix to make sure that that water and the milk are really well combined with the flour. And it should be, see how that's just kind of, well, it's not dry. But it's got a nice texture there. It's very dense, I guess, for a better word. And I just realized I need a spatula, which I'm going to go get right this second. There's one right here. Okay. That wasn't long. So I think really that's all you have to do. Just make sure it's all really good. Give it a good strong whip here. Okay. this out of here. See how nice the dough cleans out of that hook as well. Now we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to bring our pan in. And we're going to put all of this dough in there. It's not quite, the texture of a bread dough. It's not there. And it's not as thin as a quick bread. Kind of in between. That all in there. It is a stiff dough. All right. A little more of that in there. I believe, I see videos all the time where people are just rushing through the recipe. And, I know there's people that really don't want to spend a lot of time looking at videos on recipes. But, I think there's something nice about, they call it slow cooking, where you just kind of take a breather. And we all should do that. We all should just kind of slow down. I hate to, feel myself rushing through a recipe for you. And I just hope that you're able to say, I'm just going to sit down and watch chill and watch what she's cooking today. So I'm getting this spread out just as best as I can because it is a sticky dough. Not just about as even as I can. Sure, I've got everything else in here that I can scrape out. Okay, I think we're going to just go with that right now. And now I'm going to bring in my wonderful Jean Lemon sprinkler here. Just as you know, English muffins, they have the crumbs on the cornmeal on the top and the bottom. So I'm giving that a good sprinkle. I'm going to put some saran wrap, plastic wrap over this, and I'm going to let it rise. Oh, it'll rise almost to the top of this pan. And the English muffin bread usually has kind of not a big mound. And I have made a bread way in the past, and it was a whole wheat bread recipe. And it was the same thing. That bread was flat on top. It was a good recipe. It was a whole wheat bread. And I will put a link to that as well if I can find it throughout my stuff. Anyway, I'm going to put some plastic wrap on this. I'm going to let it rise. And once that is done and we are ready to put it in the oven, I will bring you back and we'll go on to the next step. We're back and take a look at this beautiful bread dough. See there, it's just not quite to the top of the pan. Had I had that smaller pan, it would have been, right up at the top. But this is very, very good. And that nice crunchy cornmeal on top. So this is going into a preheated 400-degree oven. And it's going to take about 25, 30 minutes. And I'll let you know how long, it took in my oven to cook. And once it's out, I'll take it out of the pan. I might show you me taking it out of the pan. And then we'll let it cool just a little bit so we can take a sample of it. But it's going to go in the oven right now. So this bread took 25 minutes in my oven. And I actually checked it with a thermometer. You don't need a thermometer. But I like to do that just because I like to do it. And bread, if you have a thermometer, bread should be between 200 and 210. And this hit 210 on the button. So let's see about pulling this out so you can see what I'm doing here. Oh, beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Doesn't that look wonderful? Oh, my gosh. Look at that bread. Is that just too beautiful for words? It smells remarkable. It smells so, oh, gosh, it smells so good. The one thing that's nice about it, there's no oil in this bread. None. It's absolutely got to cool. It's got to cool. Not all the way. But if you try to cut a loaf of bread smack dab out of the oven, you're just going to rip it apart and it's going to smush up. So have patience. I'm going to let this cool probably about a half hour and then we'll cut into it. And of course, we're going to spread a little butter or jam or something on it because it's like an English muffin. And we're going to toast it just like an English muffin. All right. Bye-bye for now. Yum. We are so excited to cut this loaf of bread up because we really want to try it. Isn't this beautiful? Really. It's lovely. It's a nice little loaf. It doesn't have a lot of rise on it, but we're going to cut into this and see what we got. If it had been a smaller pan, it would have had more rise. But you know what? I don't care. Nice crust. Nice crust. Not a lot of nooks and crannies, but we're going to toast it anyway. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. See there? There's some nooks and crannies in there for you. Now, would you like to try it, the director behind, before I toast it? Because we are going to toast it. Here, you take this. Tell me what you think of that.
Thank you.
See, he'd be on this side of the camera with me, but there's only, you know, somebody's got to hold the camera. What do you say?
Delicious.
Delicious. Let's see. What does that look on your face?
English muffin, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Try it. See what you think.
But it's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's delicious. English muffin.
Let's see how it toasts.
I'm going to toast it up. Put some jam on it. Give me a minute. Well, he's already been in the butter. He took that piece that I cut off, didn't toast, and he was already in the butter. So I want just a little jam on mine. So I cut it in half, and you want just a little butter. Is that correct?
Just on the edge.
Oh, just on the edge.
So I can try it both ways.
All right, there you go. Just on the, actually the texture, the sound of it. I don't know. I think we might have something going on here. What do you say to that?
Oh, there it's more like English.
I can hear it. Yes, I can hear it. So crispy. Much more so than a piece of toast. Yes. Yes. Oh, man. Here, try it with the jam. Well, the smell is so amazing. You know, the aroma, that is. No, go ahead.
I had a little orange marmalade.
Yes.
Get out of town.
Yeah. But I think it's very reminiscent of an English muffin. And I highly recommend this recipe. I mean, this is really good.
I actually like it with the strawberry jam better than the butter.
Well, I don't know about the butter, but I know that strawberry jam rocks. Okay. 2 thumbs up. Recipes down below in the description box. Make sure you check out the dough whisk and that beautiful shaker from the Jean Le Monde company. And I will leave links down below for them as well. It's in my Amazon store. Thank you so much for watching. Please tell your friends about what a great channel this is. See you next time. Bye-bye.